Test, 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 test. That sounds really good, actually. YouTube. Yamatrades back. I am back. I am back. And we have some phenomenal news. Ftmo challenge passed. Come close, come close, come close, come close. The Ftmo challenge was passed. I passed it in 4 days. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. But nah, let's get back to it. What's going on, YouTube? It's Yamatrades. Coming back at you with another video. If you liked some of the other videos in the past, go ahead and like, subscribe, turn the bell notification on, because I'm gonna be coming with more solid, more crucial, more engaging content for you guys. You know, and in the comments below, whatever you guys want to hear me talk about, go ahead and, you know, spill out whatever's on your mind, and I will respond. Shout out to John Doe. You know, he's really been engaged with me with this Ftmo challenge, and he's really been my inspiration and motivation, you know, to keep pushing and to really pass this challenge, because I know he was looking up to me and he was looking at me for answers. And hopefully in this video, John, you know, my strategy, I can go over it with you, and it can make sense, so that when you decide to take this Ftmo challenge, you know, you could rock out and, you know, pass both challenge and verification. It took me a total of 10 days to pass the challenge and verification and make the 15%. But of course, you got to trade for a minimum of 10 days. So for the challenge, I passed that in 6 days. And then I had to basically take micro positions for the other 4 days or other 3 days in order to pass the challenge. And right now, as I go into my metrics for the verification, as you can see, it's only been day 4, and I've already hit my profit target of 5,000 within the 4 days. No loss, just a straight uphill battle, taking positions. Yeah, that's my golden doodle in the back. He was like, man, I'm getting out of here. You talking too much. But yeah, so I was able to, you know, rock out. With this one here, though, I will say the verification, I did not use a like a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio type of ordeal strategy. This was more 1-to-1, just because, you know, my profit target was 5,000. I knew I could snag 10 pips on a trade, right? So I was using larger lot sizes and doing 1-to-1. So if I lost my 10 pips, I was out 10 pips. If I gained my 10 pips, you know, it's smack TP, I'm up $1,000. And I knew that I only needed 5 trades in order to pass this verification. So as we go down here, it'll say, you know, you'll see my statistics, the equity 105.22. My average profit was about $627. My average loss was 0. I didn't take any losses. I took 8 trades, lot sizes, 71 lots. For some of you,
I'm having trouble hearing you.
What? Siri, get off of my. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah. So 71 lots. Average risk to reward ratio, I want to say, you're not going to see that statistic because I did not take any losses. My win rate was 100%. You know, this was great. This was really great. This happened within 1 week, and I'm really, really proud of myself. Of course, trading isn't like this. It's not going to look like this week after week after week. If I go back to my challenge, you'll see I took losses. I took massive losses. You know, and most of those losses was due to the fact of me taking big positions and then letting them go negative. And then once they got so far down into negative, I would close them. And then I would check back on the charts, and then them bad boys would be in profit, way deep in the profit, right? So I was like, all right, I'm going to be a little bit more strategic here. You know, I'm going to use the 4-hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, but I'm going to take my entries on the 1 minute, right? Because with the pairs that I was trading, I can snag 10 pips in a 15, 20, 30 minute time frame, utilizing the 1 minute time frame, right? Versus trying to snag 30, 40, 50 pips with the 2 lot or 5 lot to make $1,000. I could do it real quick with a 10 lot position, right? So The pairs that I traded was GBP AUD, gold, GU, GBP JPY, and Euro JPY. I traded Euro JPY just because it's set up. It just showed itself. It revealed itself. And I was like, you know what? I'm jumping straight into this bad boy. As you can see, there wasn't any stop losses that were set for most of these trades, simply because I had a manual mental stop loss. And I was actively on the chart. So every trade that you see taken here, I was in it, watching it, you know, preparing myself if I needed to jump out of it, maintaining my positions. And most of these trades, you know, I closed manually once I got to that 10 pip position. So I knew where exactly what the price point needed to be. And then once price got there, I just manually closed it. I wasn't really trying to be greedy and take so much profit. I was just quickly, boom, $1,000, I'm out, right? 10 pips, that's all I need. So the first couple trades went well, you know, 10 pips on these two trades. GU, this actually did hit the 10 pips. It actually hit more than 10 pips. I think it was like close to like 25 pips. But I manually closed this simply because it started to go negative. And then once it started to go positive, it was kind of hovering in just very, very, very shallow waters. Like, it wasn't really deep in the profit. It was just very shallow. So I was like, you know what? I think this is probably going to go negative on me, which it did. After it ran about 15 pips, it went negative and then went a positive 25 pips in the direction that it should have went. So this would have stopped me out regardless. So I just took profit off the table. My first GOOOO trade, which was today, actually, same scenario. Snagged the 10 pips off of really, I think this was like 11 pips, 11 or you know what? This was more than that, because it was very different how the price point came out. So and I'll go to the chart and you'll see it. The way the risk and reward was set up was 10 to 10, but once I got to 10, it wasn't exactly $1,000. It was like $600. And I want to say it's because of the currency difference of the AUD, the Australian dollar, that caused that. So the trade was just running, and I just let it run until it hit $1,000, which is what I wanted to achieve, that 1% mark. So that hit, it ran even further. I probably left another $500 to $600 on the table, but I really didn't care. I just wanted the $1,000. I just wanted that. Gold stop loss was set. My take profit was set, and I was just going to leave it, you know, let it do its thing. And that was just my last trade. Let it hold over the weekend. But me personally, I was like, you know what? I don't want to hold this over the weekend and then it gaps or something weird happens. And then, you know, now I'm down on the challenge so much. And I just didn't want to get into that that game, right? So I closed that one manually, $240. Then GR retraced back to where I took my entry, right? And then I took another sell, right, on the way down. This one, I closed it 340, right? Because I was like, all right, it's Friday. I don't want to really hold trades too long. I'm going to go in and go out real quick. Took 340. It dropped down a little bit further. Then it retraced again, right? I jumped off the charts. I was done. I was doing some other stuff, getting some coffee. Came back to the charts, and then it printed like a triple top. And then at that point, that's when I was like, oh, a triple top. You know, I could take another entry, you know, because in the past, I would see that my trades will run to my TP, retrace, and I would just leave the charts alone, and then they would go back down to my TP. So I was thinking to myself, like, man, I could have took 2 trades, made $2,000, 10 pips each trade, and would have been, you know, good, right? So I took another sell. And then the same situation took place again. It retraced a bit, right? It was holding a level. And then I was like, all right, you know what? This is going to at least give me 3 to 5 pips if I jump in right here. So I jumped in on the retrace, right? 1 minute time frame. All this was like 1 minute time frame. Jumped in on the retrace, caught a top. Then it turned around and just started curling over and coming down. And it hit my, you know, I just wanted the 250. This, I was really just I was aiming for $250, but it ran so fast that it just hit 316. And I just closed it. I didn't even care what it was. I just closed it, right? And that basically.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Hear you, Siri. You are tripping. Get off of my line. You don't belong on this YouTube video. All right, so as you can see, GBP AUD, you know, complete chaos when it comes to the profits earned. GJ, you know, solid. Euro J, solid. GU, solid. Gold, solid. And it was just fun, you know, doing this for the past 4 days. A lot of scalping took place, but you know, I'm grateful for what I was able to accomplish. So if we jump onto the charts, since we're here on gold, let's go ahead and look at gold first, right? So we have on a higher time frame, right? 4-hour time frame, we've been falling off a cliff, right? Fell off a cliff. We finally found a bottom. Boom, we found this. We found the bottom, then it pushed, right? Then it came back. Then we got these wicks, right? These massive wicks. Once I saw those wicks, that's when I started to drop down to lower time frames and saw that, all right, we got a little double bottom situation taking place. Not to mention this massive wick, right? This wick pushed down here on a 1 hour, but if you were looking at it from a 15-minute time frame, you would have seen this right here. Woo, let's get rid of that. You would have seen this double bottom take place, right? Boom. Once I saw that double bottom, I saw this bullish engulfing right here. Boom. Then I saw this candlestick that was making printing bullish, right? Boom. So I was like, all right, it's time to jump in. So I jumped in right here. All right, market execution. As you can see, my TP was set way up here. My stop loss was set way down here. And I was just gonna let it run on Friday just to see what it would do. You know, I was curious to see what would happen with this trade. I was just gonna let it run. So it started to run. It was doing this thing. It was like pulling back, and I was just letting it run. While that was running, I was actually looking at GOOOO, same day, right? So let's go back up to the 4-hour time frame. We had a push, right? Then we got to this level of previous support that's now acting as resistance, because I see these two candlesticks right here. Price tried to break above it and then got pushed back into it, and then just kind of started hovering in this region right here, right? So I was like, all right, cool, you know, it's time. So I left it alone, didn't do nothing. I mean, I've been watching this since like Tuesday, right? Since Tuesday, what's that? September 20th, or excuse me, September 24th. So this was yesterday I was watching it, yeah. So I was watching this since yesterday, but realistically, I was watching this whole push. I was waiting for it to slow down so that it would turn around and do its thing, come back down to the downside, like whether it was coming down here, coming over here. I was just waiting for it to curl and turn around. Really didn't get that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and scout this bad boy. So on a 15-minute time frame, you know, we saw the push down, right? And then we saw this push up. And then once we had this push up, that's when I saw this little region right here, right, where price was just kind of stuck in that little area. So once it got there, that's when I jumped down to a 1-minute time frame, and I was just watching it. I found this minor level of support, right? And I was like, all right, if price breaks below this, I'm gonna go ahead and take an entry. So price eventually broke below it right here, boom, and then pushed back into it. And then that's when I started to see the moving averages curling over. They were kind of pushing down. I was seeing this like head and shoulder formation. So you got the shoulder, you got a head, you got a shoulder, and then the neckline was right here in this region. So I took my entry right in this region. Once it broke right below, closed, it printed this doji and then closed below it. I took my entry right here with a, I believe it was like 8 pips that I was risking, right? 8 pips I was risking, and I wanted the 8 pips on the downside. But once I got to the 8 pips or whatnot, I realized that, okay, no, you know what? It was 10 pips. It was 10 pips because it was 10 to 10. Yep. It was like, just like that. It got down here, right in this region, and it wasn't at $1,000. And I was sitting here thinking like, yo, why isn't this at $1,000? And then that's when I realized the conversion of the AUD to the US dollar was a little bit different. So then I let it run, you know, then it just busted out another candle and just started pushing. And then once it got down into this region, that's when it was at like $1,000. And then I closed it right here, right? So I closed the position. It did its thing. It fell down even further. Then I looked left and I saw this like minor level of resistance. previous resistance that's now acting as support. So it got down here. I could have took some buys back up, but you know, me personally, I was looking for sells, so I wasn't playing with the buys. So then once price got up here, that's when I was like, yo, you know, price is back up here. I could take another entry on a sell, but it wasn't clear enough for me when it came to like this trend line. So I had this trend line. It wasn't clear enough for me. So it came up, did its thing, push back down, push back up, push back down, push back up, push back down. And once it got right here and I saw all of these wicks right in this region right here, that's when I was like, all right, now it's time. Price is going to start curling over and coming back down. So once I got to this region, right? Once we got to this region, we took the sell, right? Boom, we took a sell. Same scenario. I think I had like, it was definitely, I was doing my 10 to 10, but of course I didn't have the stop loss set, but we were doing the 10 to 10, right? 10 to 10. So it started to push, and then it started to do this little wick thing right here. I wasn't really digging it too much. And then I just said, you know what? I'm going to close this one. So I closed that one with the profit. It was like 300 or so with profit, right? Boom, took that position. Where we at? Let's see. GR, the first trade, took that. 300, took that. Then we had the second one, right? The second one pushed, right? I held and it just pushed, right? That was my second one. So it pushed back up right into this region. I was like, no way, I'm taking another sell. Boom, jumped right in. It pushed. Took the 600 off the table. Take that. You know what I mean? I took it. Took it immediately. And then there was one more position I was taking, 99.7. Where we at? 99.7, 99.7. I think it was like right here. Let me see. It was a quick one. Yeah, there wasn't even like 10 to 10. It was just like I'm in and I'm out. Just to get the 250, 2 pips, I'm in and I'm out. So right here in this region, it pushed, and then it literally just collapsed, right? And I think it was like maybe 1 or 2 candlesticks, 1 minute candlesticks that I took that just collapsed, right? And I ran with the profit, took the profit, I was off the table. And that was the trade today that closed me out with the 5K to pass the verification, right? To get me over the hump, which was amazing, right? So then we jump into UJ, or excuse me, I keep saying UJ, EJ. EJ, 4-hour time frame, of course, we had the push going down, but as you can see, we had this level of support. I love when price does this, where it just kind of moves sideways and it's just bouncing up and down, up and down. It's easier for you to take buys and sells in this region because you can kind of anticipate, all right, once price gets up here, it's going to crumble and come back down here. Once price gets down here, it's going to find its strength and then push back up here. So that's kind of what happened, what took place. I was seeing that bounce. And once I had this bounce with all of these wicks right in this region right here, right, I was looking for the buy back up into this region right up here into this region, right? But I just wanted to scalp a little bit up to the top, like 10 pips, right? So jump down to a smaller time frame. Let's get gritty. Let's get real gritty. We had this little minor area of resistance, right in this region here. Price broke above it, closed, printed another green candle, closed, and then pulled back. Once it pulled back and it was just hovering on this moving average, my my 20 moving average, I was like, all right, bet this is time to take the position. So I took the position, risked 10 pips to gain the 10 pips, jumped right into it. It pushed, came back, held that 20 moving average once again, and then pushed, right? Immediately pushed. I was probably in this trade for like 10, 15 minutes. Once again, like I told you guys, I was not getting off the charts. So there were no stop losses set. It was manual. If price got down here, I was manually closing it. Okay. So that pushed. I took the trade. That was the first trade I took. Easy does it. We in, we out, right? Then you had this long wick that pushed back down. I was thinking, damn, I should just jump right back into it. But I was like, nah, you know, I'm being greedy right now. This was my first trade. I was being way too greedy. So I took it off the table. GJ was somewhat similar, you know, same scenario. We were just watching the charts. We were seeing everything that was taking place. You know, price was pushing down, but then we were finding like a level of support down here. On a 4 hour, 1 hour time frame was looking right. We had these like red candlesticks at the time. None of this was here, so we had all this red candlestick. So I was like, all right, price should come back down here, right? But I'ma just scout my 10 pips off the table around once it like pulls back. So I saw the pullback, right? So from here to here, I drew my fib. We got the pullback to the 38.2 with all them wicks to the top side. I jumped down to a lower time frame. It wasn't even a 5 minute, it was a 1 minute, just like all the other trades, right? We had this minor level of support that was created right in this region, right? So we had that minor level, broke above. We had the shoulder, we had a head, we had another shoulder, and then it broke below. Once it printed this, I was a bit more aggressive because I knew GJ was one of those pairs that would just run, you know, so I didn't want to risk waiting and then it would just take off from me, because I remember watching it up here in this region and it collapsed, and I just left it alone, didn't even take the trade. So had my 10 pips to my 10 pips on the downside. It pushed. I was probably in this trade for like 5 minutes. Smacked $1,000, 10 lots on the table. Smacked $1,000. I was in and I was out, right? Didn't need nothing else. I was done. Gave me what I needed. And let's see. I go over GU. Did I go over GU with y'all? I did go over GU. GU was very small. It was like 3 pips. I didn't really do too much with that one, so there wasn't really much going on. But just for you guys that are looking to take this challenge, right? If you're looking to take this challenge, one thing that I would highly recommend, and I'm gonna do a tip list, right? If you guys want a tip list, go ahead and like this video. Like this video, and that'll let me know you guys want a list of tips to help you pass this challenge. But I recommend, first and foremost, demo trading. Make sure you demo trade and you understand how to grow a 100K account. What lot size to play with, what lot sizes are too big that'll put you down too far. Because even though you're playing with 100K, you know, you could take too big of a lot size position and be down the same way you'll be down on a $1,000 account or a $10,000 account. You don't go around playing with 50 lots thinking that, oh, $500 a pip is okay, because if you're down 10 pips, you're down 5,000, you already lost the challenge, right? So first figure out how to play with certain lot sizes, right? And then once you understand that, then demo trade 100K, right? Grow that to 110,000. Do that 3 times over. Once you get to 110,000, delete that demo account, redo it. See if you could do it 3 times. If you could do it 3 times, you prepared. Don't listen to what these other cats are telling you. Oh, if you're not ready, you know, you gotta trade for, you know, a certain amount of months and this. Nah, if you've already trained your brain to understand how these charts work and how patterns set up, do it. If you are confident in yourself, do it. Don't waste no time. Do it, right? Because once you pass the challenge and you get that capital, guess what? 1% is $1,000. Right? We're not talking about 1% on $1,000. We're talking about 1% on $100,000, right? $1,000, right? Do your risk to rewards, like whatever that's gonna be. If that's gonna be a 1-to-1, if it's gonna be a 1-to-2, if it's gonna be a 1-to-3, weigh it out, play it out, see what it looks like, right? Make it happen for yourself. Make it happen for yourself, because this is life-changing stuff, right? This is very, very well life-changing stuff. But just a quick rundown one more time, once again. The strategy that I implement, the strategy that I actually use when I'm actually trading capital, right? And I'm dealing with risk and all that, there is a 4 hour, 1 hour, 15-minute time frame strategy. So on a 4 hour, I'm looking for the bias. Right now, what direction is the market going? Is the market going up or down? If just right here in this region, the market is going down, right? So if you know the market is going down, what should you be taking as a trader? You should be taking sells. Why would you take buys when the market is going down? Everyone is pushing the market down, but you're trying to push the market up. Don't be that guy, right? You're not Captain America in the Avengers Endgame, right? You're not him. Captain America and Avengers, he probably could have finished everyone that was coming at him in that last scene. That scene was very epic. You're not him, right? You are a trader. Trade with everyone, all right? But don't trade with Thanos because he's a joke. So we go down to the 1 hour. I'm tripping right now. So you go down to the 1 hour, right? We have the push, right? This is the push phase. Then we have the pullback phase. Once you have the pullback phase, that's when you're looking for, sells. You're looking to get ready to take a sell. So right here, we have this little double bottom, right? And then we have this push phase up. You're not looking to take the sell right here because it hasn't yet exhausted, right? It hasn't moved sideways or printed candles that are telling you that price is done moving up, right? We have another bullish candlestick. Right here, when you have this doji, that's when you pay attention, right? So right in this region is when you want to pay attention. So then we drop down to our entry time frame, which is the 15-minute time frame. So now once we get into this region, you could look for your setups, right? So we have a double top right here. You could have took it right here, being aggressive. I'm not going to say, oh, you could have just took it right here because, the price is falling off the cliff. Like if this is not here and all you see is this, you could have took it off of this double top, right? Which your 25 pip, risk to reward, or 25 pip risk, right? You risk 25 pips to gain, let's say, 75 pips, right? So boom, you got your setup. Let's see what happens. Plays out. Price comes right back into that region. You probably were stopped out right there, right? Okay, that's cool, right? Me personally, this is what I always do. If I'm doing a 3-to-1, I always figure out where's my 1-to-1. Wherever 1-to-1 is located, I put a line right there. Then I pull out my 3-to-1, right? And then once price gets down here, if I start to see that it's struggling to break below, like we had this push, boom, and then it came back up, came back down, boom, and it was doing all this extra stuff, I probably would have closed somewhere here. So I would have took maybe, $200 to $300 off the table. I wouldn't just let it just hit my stop loss. I would have took some money off the table, would have been either at break even or took some money off the table once I saw that. If it would have ran down to my take profit, so be it. I lost on the trade. At least I can go back and analyze with profit and see what went wrong, right? So that could have been one, right? Boom. Second one you could have saw. Once you saw that it pulled back, you could have been like, oh, damn, there's a level of support that was created right here, right? Level of support. Once that level of support was broken, which was right here, you could have took an entry right there, right? Or you could have waited for a pullback, which was right here in this region. Pull out your fibs from the top down to the bottom. Boom, you got a 38.2 pullback. Wait for the candlestick formation to reveal itself. Take your entry right here. Stops above this previous level, right? So let's say you do 25 pips, right? 3-to-1. We going 3-to-1, right? Boom. We go 3-to-1. Boom. You snagged your trade. So the first trade you got $200. The second trade never hit your stop loss. Went directly into profit. You got $3,000 on a 100K account, right? And then you just keep repeating that cycle. Once you snag that, you're done for the day. You took your trade. You got 3% today. Wait till tomorrow to snag another trade. And then we had all of this in this little region, which I love so much, where price moves sideways, right? So you got your level of support and your level of resistance. You're in this region. You don't know that this is just going to move sideways. But once you start to see that it's doing this, then you know, all right, once it comes here, I'm looking for sells. I'm going to take a sell right up here. You pretty much got a double top right in this region. Boom, take your sell back down here. You could have took it here, 25 pips. $3-to-1, you smacked, right? Or you could have jumped down to a smaller time frame and smacked even more, right? Got in, got out real quick, simple. But this is the strategy that I use when I trade my live accounts and I trade actual capital, right? This is all I have. This video is probably like 30 minutes and I really didn't want it to be that long. Hopefully this was very useful. to you guys, and you guys got a lot of quality information from this. If not, let me know how I could, you know, increase your experience, you know, enhance the experience, because I would love to do so. Again, my name is Yamatrades. If you made it to the end of the video, I thank you so dearly for watching this whole video. Again, we passed the challenge and the verification. Now we just got to wait it out to get the capital to start trading. If there's anything you guys would like to see, like I said below, before, comment it down below. Comment it down below so that I could respond to you guys, create new content for you guys, keep this stuff going, keep it growing. Thank you, the army. You guys are my army. You guys ride with me. You know, we're all on the front line together. We're going to do this together, all right? Yamatrades, I'm out.